Coming up, we will speak about many kung fu movies. Some would say, too many. Ha 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 ha! Fools! The warrior knows that there is no such thing as too many kung fu movies.
Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath, and in this video, I want to talk to you about a sweet new documentary about martial arts cinema. This is called Iron Fists and Kung Fu Kicks. It is amazing. This is from the producer of Machete Maidens Unleashed and Electric Boogaloo, the Canon... So this is the Filipino exploitation documentary. Electric Boogaloo is the Canon Films documentary. Now, both of these were directed by Mark Hartley, who is also the cat that directed Not Quite Hollywood, the Ozploitation documentary. Now, the only through line, Mark Hartley did not direct Iron Fist and Kung Fu Kicks, but the producer of these two documentaries has now... That's the driving force behind this. So you can kind of see this theme that we're running with, just an examination of all of these different areas, genres within cult cinema. If you haven't seen our video review of these documentaries, I will link to that right here. It's one of my favorites. These documentaries are among my favorites, and this now joins the ranks because, listen guys, I love martial arts movies. Of course, I love kung fu movies, and this really does justice to the whole genre of martial arts films. First of all, I have to say this was sent to me for review by Umbrella Entertainment, so thank you to Umbrella. Umbrella's out of Australia. As far as I know, this is a region-free release. I have a region 1, I'm in America, and it played fine on my player. I believe there's an American release from a company called Giant. I have no experience with that label or that disc, but the contents of the documentary are the same, so take it for what you will. I'm going to be discussing the documentary itself. But guys, this is literally a love letter to martial arts cinema. It starts at the beginning of the movement, going all the way back through the sands of time to the 60s, all of the founding cornerstones of martial arts cinema, how they started in this one movement. They were very historical in nature, and then they became more violent, and then they started to become more punk rock and a little bit more rebellious. All of the classics that I can think of the genre are in this. They're represented in here, not just with clips, but oftentimes talking about those movies in their context of what they were doing. It is like reading a book about the martial arts genre, but with the added benefit of seeing the movies themselves. Of course, there's a huge focus on Bruce Lee in this documentary, because of course Bruce Lee and martial arts cinema they're synonymous. They are one and the same. He was such a proponent of karate and of what he was trying to get across. His whole mind, body, the discipline of what he was trying to bring to, I guess, a global audience, but he did come to Hollywood eventually. He brought that to Hollywood, and then from that point, they move from the martial arts cinema of Asia to the martial arts movies of Hollywood. When Bruce Lee was kind of like the gateway that martial arts really came to America for so many people. From there, they get into Jackie Chan. His multi-decade career, the stunt work. They make an interesting connection between Jackie Chan's style of martial arts and just what he was doing, that whole stunt thing, to the parkour movement, which I've never heard anyone make those correlations, but makes total sense. You're talking about like this, the running up the walls and running across the tops of buildings. Like, he was doing that way before anybody else was in his movies. So he may very well have been the godfather of parkour. It's a compelling argument there. They go into the blaxploitation movement because, of course, these inner city people were so influenced by the tenets of discipline and of owning yourself, owning your strength, owning your control. So that becomes, the power of the kung fu movement moves to the inner city, and so then that gives them reason to talk about, like TNT Jackson and all this cool stuff. They really explore multiple levels of how it evolved into the eventual mainstream Hollywood kung fu cinema that we know today, not just Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but of course how, like, The Matrix itself birthed this whole new era of kung fu movies, a different kind of thing. The Raid, the whole Raid thing. Ong Bak. They talk about everything in here. And if there's any how do you criticize that when they go everywhere? They talk about like African martial arts. There were people who were in other parts of the world that are influenced by these movies that have then taken it as an inspiration to go and do their own thing. All the heroes of the genre, not just Asian origin people, but I'm talking about like Caucasians. They really cover it all. And my criticism, if there is one, I feel so terrible even bringing this up, is that it's too big of a topic for what we have on this DVD, which runs it's 108 minutes. So less than 2 hours. And you guys, this could have been like a 6-hour, no, forget that. 12 hours. This could have been a 12-hour documentary. With some of these other docs, like the Not Quite Hollywood documentary, the Canon Films documentary, they've really fleshed out the documentary itself with a lot of trailers of these things, behind the scenes footage, extended interviews. There's none of that on this DVD. By the way, this is a DVD. There is no Blu-ray. I don't think there's a Blu-ray worldwide of this documentary, but I want one so bad because there's just so much ground to cover here, and I want bonus features, man. There's nothing here. There's not even on this disc. There's not even a menu. It just starts. You put it in, and it just starts. And when it's over, it loops back around and starts again, which is not a bad way to spend an afternoon just watching this on a loop, I gotta say. But that is my criticism, is that it's just not enough time. There's just not enough of it. It does what it does so well that I want more. So hopefully maybe there will be some special edition release of this in the future. Whether or not that day ever actually comes, I wholeheartedly recommend Iron Fists and Kung Fu Kicks. You guys, this is incredible. I haven't showed you the back of the box yet. I will show you the back of the box. Hundreds of clips of martial arts films from all eras of martial arts cinema going on. I mean, you can see we got like old kung fu movies. We've got Billy Blanks. They talk about Tai Bo. You guys, they talk about the Tai Bo craze of the 90s on here. It is just so much fun. So I don't have a whole lot left to say about this other than just find this. I will put links to this DVD in the description of this video, so you don't have to go hunt for it. You can go right to it. Again, this played perfectly fine. It says that it's region 4, which is Australia's DVD region, but it played perfectly fine on my player. This is a region-free disc, so buy without worry that you won't be able to play it. And guys, this is so cool. What would be the next genre that they could tackle with something like this? We've done Canon Films. We've done Filipino exploitation movies. We've done Ozploitation. Now we've done Kung Fu. Maybe a sci-fi one. Maybe like a sword and sorcery one. There's more ground to cover. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and talking about this Kung Fu movie documentary. Have you seen it? I've gotten a little bit of feedback about this movie on Instagram, and everybody that's seen it is like, yes! You're just writing down movie titles, right? You're just like, oh, I gotta find this one. I gotta find this one. Too many of these movies that are featured in this documentary are not in print, at least in America. You guys, what's going on with the Kung Fu cinema? We got to get these movies back in print. But have you seen it? What do you think about it? Guys, thanks again for your time. I really appreciate you. So take care. And until next time, I will catch you later.